Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Sandra Bullock.
And I'm Lucas.
Welcome! Today, we're going to talk about the top moments from the Golden Globe Awards and singer Demi Lovato's epic clapback at fat-shaming Instagram ads. Plus, comedian and host Judy Gold stops by to discuss her hit podcast, Kill Me Now. But first, guys, I think it's okay. I think the entity's gone.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Wait, how do I know this is really you?
You don't know?
Oh.
Take off your mask.
Promise me something good at least.
I don't know. We're gonna dance.
That's it? I would definitely keep the
Surgery on a grape.
Obviously, this is from Bird Box. If you haven't.
What do
seen
you
it,
mean there's no more dessert? What do you mean there's no, like, you start beating yourself?
We're gonna talk about Bird Box in a second. But first, guys, we haven't seen each other for 2 weeks. How are your breaks?
Hi.
So much fun.
You were in
I
LA?
missed you guys. Yeah, I was in LA, just cuddling my cat all day.
You look sun-kissed.
You do look like bronze.
Wow, I think this is makeup. I don't think,
and the yellow shirt. It's just like I feel warmth from
Yeah,
you.
I
Yeah,
do.
guys, it's my
LA
vibe.
vibes.
It's
I
your
was in
bad.
Nebraska, so it's less warm there.
Corn.
Lots more corn. It was great though. Lots of family. I got to meet my niece for the first time. She's like 5 months old. And I
Shout
haven't
out
met
to
her yet.
Stormy.
Shout out to Stormy. She's
cute.
really cute. She's my best friend.
I'm so obsessed with your nephew also.
Oh.
He's like a Disney star in the making.
I know, they're
He's so cute.
Go to my Instagram.
You have
can see
lots
all
of
these
cute
photos.
family members.
And you guys too? Good break?
Good breaks. Happy to be back.
Yeah, I was in Florida, a lot of time with family. I went to Miami for the first time for New Year's, and my night ended. So I stayed in a hotel with my brother, and we went to bed, and then all of a sudden, my brother wakes up, it's like 4 in the morning, and I'm not in my bed, not in the bathroom, but he hears like, on the outside door, and he opens the hotel door, and it's me just in my underwear, like, where have you been? I've been out here for 30 minutes. It's like,
You were in the
Lucas,
hall?
in the hall. No idea how I got there. And I was like yelling, like, Daniel, you let me out there. He's like, what are you talking about? You went to bed like 2 hours ago. So
Lucas,
who knows what I did
was
in that
Daniel not
hallway?
drunk?
I
I
don't
think
know,
we
Miami.
need to talk
Who
about
knows?
your drinking.
I did not have an issue. This is tequila, right?
Oh no, I'm scared.
It was a fun one.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Well, I'm glad you're all alive.
Yeah.
Because you know what, sometimes people die. And Netflix new apocalyptic thriller Bird Box, starring Sandra Bullock, hit the streaming service over the holidays, and it's since become something of a social media phenomenon. Viewers launched the viral Bird Box challenge, in which people mimic film characters and try to accomplish everyday tasks while blindfolded. In response, Netflix tweeted a warning about what could happen if you decide to take part in the internet craze. Woo, wow.
Yeah.
We just did it. It was dangerous just sitting on a couch without my eyes.
I almost burned
It's
my
hard.
mouth with my tea because I couldn't see it.
Oh, you took a sip?
No, I didn't.
No, that was really risky.
That's risky.
But I like that Netflix had to actually put out a statement like, please do not end up in the hospital because of a meme. Those are their words.
But keep your subscription up and watch Bird Box.
Watch Bird Box
Yeah,
full time.
they're loving the free publicity. I watched the movie. It's a very thrilling movie. I was entertained throughout, but I did not think it was that great.
I loved it.
I think it was overhyped, and we will have an argument. I think The Quiet Place was better.
I think The Quiet Place is better as well, but they're very different movies. I can enjoy them each separately.
They're both about alien entities who take away your sense. You have to not use
One of
a
your
sense.
senses.
Yeah,
I
but-
thought this was a lot better than Quiet Place. This had more layers and elements.
I
felt.
see.
That's what I mean. They were different. Like
Quiet
this
Place
was about
was all
a
one
journey.
beat.
Well,
For me, The Quiet Place was more emotional, and it was about like the lengths that parents will go to protect their children. This one was more about the journey and the action and the danger. You know what I mean?
maybe.
Felt like different.
Well, in my
vibes.
opinion, in terms of quality of storytelling, Quiet Place takes place in a smaller world, but you
Yeah.
understand the global consequences, as well as beginning in the middle of the epidemic, which I thought was a clever way. Because Bird Box uses flashbacks to tell you the story,
Yeah.
which is ultimately just not a clever way of telling a story, just because they're like.
but you get to see Sarah Paulson, so like,
Which
Which is
is
true.
like the
Which
best
is-
10 minutes of Bird
Best-
Box.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
wanted more
God.
Sarah Paulson.
Me too.
Her eyes when she looks back, I'm like, no, don't do it, Sarah.
Right?
Don't do it.
So
She's
good.
great.
And then also the if you haven't seen the movie, watch it. The crazy guy that comes in the house. I don't want to ruin anything.
I hate
yeah.
Dumpling
really
for that.
interesting elements in that. What?
I know, she said she
Dumpling.
hates
I hate
Dumpling
Dumpling
for
for that.
I feel like
Oh.
everybody was like, fuck you, Dumpling.
Yeah, I know.
I guess her character's name is Olivia.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Right.
or no,
Olympia.
Olympia.
It's a cool name. But and then those little kids are really good actors to
Oh,
being like
yeah.
5 years old, as Sandra Bullock yelling at them, "You're going to die. You're going to die unless you listen to me." And the kids are just like,
But that's how you would have to yell at your little kid, because your little kid wouldn't take it seriously unless I was like, you know, like, you're gonna die. Like, then they'll listen. Otherwise, little kids are just, the fireworks.
Yeah, they can't survive a possible, like, alien invasion.
So the Bird Box Challenge is a thing, but also the memes that came out of this film were genius. And we were talking about this earlier, and somebody actually validated it for me. I was like, Netflix had to have been a part of this because the memes happened so quickly. And then she said, like, it was part of their viral marketing campaign, is that they had creators make these memes and push them out. And for me, that was the most effective way to promote this film.
So smart. So smart. Because it's like the second you start seeing these memes on these big Instagram accounts, it's like, oh, it's a joke I want to be a part of. It's more than just a film people are talking about. You know? Which one are you talking about?
Oh, well, there was so many, but there was one in particular where Olympia talks about what she wants to name her daughter. And then, like, Sandra Bullock didn't name her daughter that. And the meme was like, are you fucking kidding me? I gave you one job. And didn't name the right thing.
What did she say she wanted to name?
She wanted it Ella.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she named her Olympia.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, sorry.
Wait, why was she calling them girl boy?
Because she didn't get attached to them.
Emotional.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a whole journey of how she learns to love other people besides herself and open her heart up. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting movie. And
Trevante Rhodes.
Yeah.
She got to love on him for 5 years too, which makes it worth it.
But also it's like Netflix, which we were talking about as well. It's like Netflix can just put a movie on your account, like whatever the algorithm is, they'll just blast Bird Box everywhere. So you go to Netflix and it's the holidays, so you're watching live TV, and the trailer starts playing. Of course, you're gonna just click on it.
Isn't that crazy, the control they have?
Netflix is so smart in terms of their marketing, as well as the control they have of what you consume. And just because they have over 100 million subscribers, and what was 45 million people watch this like the first day or the first 2 days, like that's insane. That's crazy.
I know.
The movie industry, I mean, Netflix just got it.
Good for Sandy.
Yeah.
That's what her friends in Hollywood call her.
Sandy?
Oh,
you
like
close
you.
to Sandra Bullock? Yeah. That's good. Well, moving on to other entertainment news. The 76th Annual Golden Globes Awards aired Sunday night at NBC, officially kicking off the 2019 award season. Brooklyn Nine-Nine star Andy Samberg and Killing Eve actor Sandra Oh hosted the star-studded ceremony, which honored the best in film and television. Let's break it all down.
Where do we even start? Let's start with the hosts.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's start with the host.
What do you think?
I thought they had some really funny moments. I am not obsessed with Andy Samberg. It's kind of like, oh, we're finally giving a woman of a minority group a chance, but we gotta put a white dude with her.
Right.
You know, it kind of felt like that to me. But I'm not obsessed with him, but I thought they had some really funny moments.
Yeah. For me, it was like the night of the dad joke. These were very like entry-level jokes, really commercial, appealing to a wide audience. I love a dad joke, so I laughed out loud several times.
Right.
So I feel like they really took the non-political, kind of offensive comedy route, which was a little refreshing when you're comparing them to like Ricky Gervais or some of the people in the past. So it wasn't the most provocative hosting duo, but I think they like got the job done.
Yeah,
They did get the job done.
I said it
No,
when
that's
they,
exactly how I feel.
they did their job. Congrats, guys.
Yay!
I think Sandra Oh could have done it on her own, though. I
agree.
think that we should trust like solo hosts, especially solo women. I feel like they're not doing that yet. They're like, oh, she's a lady. We gotta attach her to a penis.
Yeah.
But I think she would have killed it by herself.
Yeah, no, I liked it, but I think it's more a couple things. One, she's not a professed
Stand-up.
comedian, stand-up, and Andy Samberg does have that experience, as well as I think NBC wanted Andy Samberg because Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming back to NBC. I thought it was good. I actually liked it better when they were a little meaner, when they made fun of Lady Gaga for the 100 people in the room comment I thought was funny, as well as the Emma Stone.
Them whitewashing.
Aloha, and you
Asian
hear Emma
characters.
Stone shouting, I'm sorry, off camera. I thought it was really great. And in terms of the winners, I thought it was, the upsets were, I think, Bohemian Rhapsody winning Best Drama. I just saw the movie. I liked it.
I liked the movie.
I'm surprised it won Best Drama, but Rami Malek, I say his name, was really good in it. And then I think I was also really happy about Glenn Close winning, but I know a lot of Lady Gaga fans were upset that she didn't take home that award.
Somebody posted a photo of them, I think it was at like a pre-Golden Globes party where they were like talking together, and it's like Glenn kind of looking at Lady Gaga like, They posted it after she won. Obviously, Glenn Close is so above that. She doesn't care, but I do think she deserved it.
Does she have an Oscar?
She doesn't have, Glenn Close never won an Oscar.
So maybe she'll finally get her Oscar.
She got nominated for Albert Nobbs, but she didn't.
The hope is that Gladys is like momentum, so if these people win awards, like, okay, so Glenn Close now is the favorite to win the Oscar, which would be good.
Glenn Close scares the shit out of me.
Good.
She's creepy. She has a smile that will haunt you.
Yeah.
Right?
What?
I mean, she's on par with Meryl Streep, though. Like,
Yeah, she's
that
like Meryl Streep's evil cousin. Don't you feel that?
sister.
Like, she's so scary.
Her speech was so sweet. She was tearing up, and she was like, "This movie I've been working on for so many years, and I've been doing this for 40 years, and it's still."
She's
I was
terrifying.
crying.
when she came to Build to talk about the wife, and she brought her dog. She was like so nice.
No, I'm sure it's just like a front. Like, she's evil.
Oh my God, Glenn.
Do you think you could take her out though if she was attacking you?
No, I think she would take me out.
No, well, I'd help you out.
Thank you. I'm so scared of her. Like, she's scary. I think about her in Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why.
She's such a good actress that you believe that she's gonna murder you.
That wasn't real.
That wasn't real. I was also just happy to see Regina King get recognized last night. For me, she has been one of the most consistent actresses we have ever had. She'll even be in Miss Congeniality 2, and she nails it.
Yeah, but her journey from there to here is so great.
So, If Bill Street Could Talk is such an amazing, beautiful movie if you haven't seen it, and her performance is so moving. And so she got recognized for that, but then also in her speech saying that she was going to hire 50% women for future producing projects, again, is really powerful. It's one of those things to talk about, time's up, but it's one thing to like put it in action.
Yeah.
And so I was really happy.
I love how every time she tried to say something important, though, they would like play the music.
Well,
she was just like, stop playing the music.
And they did though, because I'm like, that's what you do in a kind of speaking.
But one point of it did sound like I was actually giving like a good like soundtrack. The speech was so epic. I was like, whoa, I'm feeling something. But I'm glad they shut up. My only thing though, Lady Gaga won Best Song. Of course she was gonna win Best Song. She gets up, and this is a woman who's won countless Grammys, has sold hundreds of millions of albums, and she gets up and goes, it's really hard. I'm not saying it isn't. To be a songwriter, being a woman songwriter, you are Lady Gaga, and Taylor Swift just gave you this award. Taylor Swift just made like $1 billion on all the songs she wrote. What are you talking about, Lady Gaga? And she's crying, and I'm like, if she won the acting award, I get why she would cry, because it's a really big deal.
Let her cry.
You're a professional singer-songwriter.
I think her emotions are just on 10.
She's always on 10. Always. I'm like, just bring it down to an 8.
You have something against Lady Gaga.
I love Lady Gaga.
No, you have something against Lady Gaga.
I just think sometimes she's too about her. It's like she makes it about her
it's
too much.
It's okay to have something against her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she's amazing.
She's of course so talented. More talent in her pinky than I do my entire body. I just feel like she could have like had a little more like, I don't know, awareness. It's a Golden Globe for Best Song. Like, you were gonna win it. You're Lady Gaga. You're a billionaire.
So you want her to you think she should have been more casual?
But like, this is a great honor. I knew I was gonna win this. Shallow was an amazing thing. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
She was like, oh, what? Me, Lady Gaga? I'm a superstar. What?
I think it's just because she's on. She's like just like overly dramatic people, so sometimes it comes off just like too much.
But I loved her look. The blue hair and that dress was epic.
You don't get someone who has blue hair and a dress and then also acts calm.
Exactly.
That's true. Okay? Very true. Very true.
Pick one or the other.
Did you guys see the moment when Emily Blunt came out with Dick Van Dyke?
I didn't
and
see that.
Everybody stood because he's an icon, and they gave him a standing ovation, and then they cut to John Krasinski, and he's like, woo! And I'm like, I feel like he thought everybody was cheering for his wife, and I love them. They're like couple goals.
Well, you never know.
I love that.
It was so cute.
There could be big Mary Poppins fans in the audience. They could be, Mary Poppins returns! Yeah! By the way, I saw that.
Did you see the old guy from Mary Poppins in the audience who was just like...
Dick Van Dyke, when Carol Burnett was speaking.
Old guy,
The old guy. You mean Dick Van Dyke? Like what?
The guy we're talking about? You should be scared of him.
I didn't watch that part!
That old guy that finished. I heard they found him on the streets of London. That old guy.
Every time they cut to him, he was like...
I know exactly the clip you're talking about, and I almost screen grabbed it, and I was like, I don't want to be mean to an icon.
That was also scary. Guys, I thought the Golden Globes were scary.
I mean, I think all award shows are scary. I think they're satanic events.
Well, Jeff Bridges rambled for 10 minutes.
Jeff Bridges.
It was a beautiful speech.
Carol Burnett was great, but during Carol Burnett, Dick Van Dyke was like,
Carol
Burnett is amazing. She's an icon. That was like the best part of the show for me. I thought she's so amazing.
What about Maya and Amy though? I thought they were my best part. They were so funny.
No, there's a difference though between a living legend and Maya and Amy.
True.
This is true. They were both amazing.
And then Carol Burnett leaves the stage and Taylor Swift comes on. And I'm like, what is this world?
I know, it's weird. But Carol Burnett said it perfectly. She goes, what I did, nobody will ever be able to do again.
Yeah.
Thank God there's reruns. And I was like, it's so true, because what she did was so special. I think they had like 30, 40 million people watching her show.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine a show having viewership like that now? It's impossible.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's really crazy to think about. Did any of you forget about Christian Bale's accent like
yes.
I did?
That was so funny that everybody was fighting about it, being like, is this a fake accent? And they were like, he's Welsh! He's Welsh!
Yeah.
I
love that.
I forgot it though. Did you remember it?
Yeah, I feel like I always forget that he is Welsh. And what's that actor, what's his name? Caleb Landry Jones. I always think he's from the UK, and he's just from Texas. But he's such a freak, and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Well, Rami Malek has a slight accent, but he's from LA.
Weird voice. It comes out his mouth.
I Googled it afterwards, because I'm like, oh, is he? I didn't know, and he's like from LA.
Did you guys see the moment where Nicole Kidman like does not even look at him, and then he like walks up and touches her back, and she doesn't turn around, and he goes, oh. It's so awkward. Yeah, he's like, I just assaulted her.
Oh my, wait, why did he touch her?
Just like to be nice. Like it was like hi, like he was acknowledging her, but she didn't.
No way.
At all. Yeah. She like, wouldn't even look at him.
Wow, she's
because
fierce.
maybe was she mad that someone else didn't win? Maybe I don't know.
She looked the best.
She looked great.
Always,
She looked great. Kristen Bell looked great, I thought.
Yeah.
She was pretty.
They looked beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed the shows. I know people have really high expectations for these award shows, but I kind of think, like I said, they got the job done. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
There were some upsets. Like,
and the Golden Globes, though, it's like this weird Hollywood Foreign Press. Who are they? It actually seems like the people are enjoying themselves because they're eating and drinking.
Yeah.
And by the end, people are slurring their words as they make speeches.
I love that.
And like Glenn Close is crying. She probably had like 4 glasses of champagne, like drunk. That would be
Jeff Bridges was lit up.
Jeff Bridges was lit up. Like that's like a fun award show to attend. So I kind of feel that energy when like people are just getting drunk. I'm like, oh, I wish I was there.
I liked when Olivia Colman, she won Best Actress, and she was like, and my bitches.
Rachel Weisz was like, woo!
It was great. That was awesome.
Oh, I love it. Well, moving on. Demi Lovato is calling out Instagram for fat shaming. The singer recently spoke out about an ad for the video game Game of Sultans that appeared on her Insta feed. It showed 2 animated women, one labeled pretty and the other labeled obese. Lovato took to her Insta story to vent about the ad and detail the many things wrong with it. Can we put that ad back up? It's really ridiculous, actually. But what I found to be the most ridiculous is that under the obese one, it said my daughter. And then the pretty one was my daughter's friend.
Yeah.
For me, that was the even more upsetting part.
No, friends.
And there's a section where you can withhold food from the obese daughter.
Yeah.
What medieval game is this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why anyone would want to play this.
It looks horrible. I mean,
I don't know,
everything.
this doesn't sound medieval. It sounds like my childhood. My mom was like, don't feed Allie. Okay. I don't know what this is. I've never even heard of this game.
Yeah, I've never seen it. They aren't sending it to me, but maybe my Instagram is broken, or they're like, it's too late for Shannon. She's already the daughter. But yeah, it's so sad. They show you, like, I think it was like a number of breadsticks, and she was only allowed to eat a certain number of breadsticks, which is very triggering if you've ever had an eating disorder, obviously.
Yes.
Even if you don't. I mean, if you need an excuse for an eating disorder, there's one.
Yeah.
Well, I think also we're seeing, because this reminds me of that awful ad that was on Snapchat involving punching Rihanna or something like that.
Oh my
These social media platforms, and very much including Facebook, and we won't get political, but that happened during the election, was like, don't know who is purchasing ads on their sites, and there needs to be more filtration and more control, because this is ridiculous. And the Rihanna ad is ridiculous, and the Russian bot ads are ridiculous. So it's like, what are these social media sites gonna do to filter these ads?
And who are these ads targeting, right? Who plays games? Primarily young men. So again, then you're perpetuating these stereotypes and these like unattainable body image for men as well. So it's like it affects women, but then you're creating these men who are more misogynist and looking for women who are pretty. And I don't know, it just like there's so many issues with this. So good for Demi Lovato. I mean, she's had a long history with eating disorders and different sorts of issues. And so I think anybody who to speak out, I'm happy that she said something.
Isn't it amazing how blatantly offensive and wrong that ad is? And it's like passed through so many hands and approved?
Yeah.
Well, you know who designed that? It's a total bridge troll of a man who's just like the grossest person ever. Like, who made that app?
I mean, I think the worst part is that Instagram hasn't even said anything about it, right? They're like not gonna address it. They're like, oh, big deal, Demi Lovato, whatever.
They don't feel like it's there.
Well, like Lucas said, I don't think they're probably really watching. They're getting paid, so it's like, put it up.
Facebook owns Instagram, and we know Facebook has no...
And Putin owns Facebook.
And Putin owns Facebook.
Did you guys get that horrible Instagram update where it was like the left and right scroll? The right scroll?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, right away.
They got rid of it. It was
like,
crazy.
Sorry. And then I asked that stupid Instagram guy, I was like, yo, what about chronological order, you fucking twat?
Right. so for like a brief, literally 2 minutes, I went on my Instagram, and all of a sudden, instead of being like a linear scroll, it became like horizontal
side to side. You could tap
side.
Side to side or swipe side to side.
It was crazy.
I hate that.
It was horrible.
Oh, they got rid of it right away.
Everybody hated it.
I was like, Grandma, you're not gonna like Instagram changes. She's not gonna know how to use it anymore. But they changed
that
it back.
sounds like a dating app.
It does, yeah. It felt like one.
I don't like that.
Also, if you tap something twice and you liked it, you didn't mean to, it was a mess.
That algorithm, Instagram's algorithm still bothers me so much. You never see my pictures, I never see my friends' pictures. All I'm seeing is like
the same 5 people.
BuzzFeed news updates. I'm like, okay.
We came back and I saw Lucas today for the first time since we were on break, and he was like, "Did you like all my slutty pics?" I was like, "They didn't even hit my feed."
I know, and she's like the biggest fan of slutty Lucas.
And for you to miss his shirtless pic is a missed opportunity.
It's sad.
It gives me life.
No, it's tough.
Tough times, guys. And now it's time for today's guest. Judy Gold is an Emmy Award-winning comedian and writer. Today she's here to dish about her weekly hit podcast and new comedy album, both titled Kill Me Now, which features celebrities opening up about what makes them angry, from the extraordinary to the mundane. Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Judy Gold.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you.
I wanted to so talk to you.
Come this way.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Hi. Nice to meet you.
I'm a hugger too.
You know, some people aren't huggers.
You know, I'm from the Midwest. It's like
love
in our DNA.
But I love hugging.
Yeah, it's
feel
good
good.
for you.
But I don't know, my girlfriend's always like, why are you hugging them? You know, like in show business, you're always like, you talk to people on the phone or something, and you haven't seen them in forever, and then you're like, okay, love you, bye. And my girlfriend's always like, why do you people always say, and it's like, because we spend such like tight amount of time, like, and it's so intense, you know, that you do kind of love them. And
I know. I hugged each of them this morning. I was like, I missed you.
Right, you had off, right?
I know.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
I really wanted to be here for the Golden Globes thing.
Well, what'd your opinion?
Tell us.
We want
Tell
your
us what you
opinions.
think.
Well, okay, so I listened to all of your opinions.
Yeah.
I have to say, the non-edginess of the jokes really is not my style.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I feel like comics are taking such crap right now. We're the truth tellers. We get shit on like it's, you know, and people don't listen to the intent of the joke. They just, oh, that word triggers me, or that, oh, they're saying this, when we're really not. We're just, you know, making a joke. So I kind of miss that sort of edginess of Ricky Gervais.
I think that's fair.
You know, of just saying this is all such bullshit. Because
Yeah, I feel that.
It is,
You need someone to call it.
like come on, those overly surprised faces every time someone.
That's what I'm saying.
I couldn't take it. It was like, like you didn't prepare a speech.
Yeah.
Like you weren't in the bathroom going.
Right. Like Lady Gaga's rehearsed that moment for like the past 10 years.
Even
Like,
Glenn
come on.
Close's speech deserved an Oscar. I was like, she was so. You're
But
Glenn
you know
Close.
what? I worked with Glenn Close. I know
Yeah.
Glenn, and she's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that because that character really made her think of her mother,
Yeah.
and women of her generation, like you guys are lucky. You're young and you're in this new wave of like, please, Me Too times up, you know? But I feel like that character really was so intense for her because it did remind her of women of her generation and her mother. And when she said, you know, women should be able to say, I want to do that and I should be able to do that. That really,
I agree.
I love
you know,
her speech.
Super powerful.
Glenn Close 2020, that's what I'm saying now.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oprah last year, Glenn Close this year. Who knows?
Anybody 2020.
I think we need someone, you know, who knows the Constitution.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
Oh man. So tell us a little about Kill Me Now and how you started with that, like your inspiration.
Well, you know, everyone had been saying to me, do a podcast. And I have a lot of famous friends. And I was like, how's my podcast gonna be? You know, everyone has a podcast. And I'm known for being a little angry. Like things, like the stupidest things piss me off. And about 12,000 times a day, I'm like, kill me now, I can't take it. And I thought, what brings out passion in people? Like, what is there something that people don't usually talk about? And that's what pisses them off the most. And when people start talking about what pisses them off, they're like, it just gets so intense and builds. But the other half of the podcast is really, I talk about growing up. I talk about their lives, like stuff that they don't usually talk about, you know, because most people are out promoting something. But to know, were you popular in high school? You know, what was your family life like? Why are you you? And that's, because I feel like everyone has a story. And it helps people, because, you know Christine Taylor, Ben Stiller's ex-wife, sorry. But an actress in her own right, she came on and she was so popular in high school, and we were just talking about this because I was so unpopular, you know. And she's like, how is this? This is not, no one's going to be interested. And people loved it because, we never really leave high school. Like
never.
the Golden Globes, high school,
Right.
showbiz, everything is high school. You work in an office, it's like, this is the popular people, these are the assholes,
Always.
It's just, so it's stuff that you normally wouldn't talk about or know about a person. I find fascinating.
Is that why, do you think that anger is relatable for most of your listeners? I mean.
I think that and as Joan used to say all the time, I say the things that people are thinking. She always said that. I've always said that about myself. Things that people are afraid to talk about because it might seem, a little feminine or just not, you don't sound very nice or, but look, 56 years old. I don't give a shit anymore. No, everyone said whatever the hell they want. Like, I've heard it all. I've been humiliated, It's like, let's get stuff out in the open, And I don't know. I feel like that's who I am. I do get annoyed over little things, especially incompetence and.
I think your anger is relatable.
Yeah.
I was listening to the most recent episode, and you talked about being on the train and your knee hurt, so you sort of were leaning against the pole.
That fucking
and
guy.
the way you went off in the podcast, I was dying laughing because people are jerks on the train.
Oh my God! I was holding on to the thing, and this guy's like, "Oh, you're gonna lean over me? What? Well, you know what? I'll get up and you can sit." And then continues to badger me. I'm like doing the crossword puzzle on my phone. And he wouldn't stop. And I was like, so this is the new thing now. You're white, entitled male, like scream at me, And someone was like, don't let him ruin your day. Don't. But it's like people are really angry now. And I think because of what's going on in this country, I think people are so agitated.
Yeah.
You mentioned what's going on in our country, and you started this podcast in 2015.
Yeah.
So how has your podcast changed because of the political climate and the things we're seeing in media?
Well, it's, initially we weren't talking about Orange, all the time, but it is every fucking day, another thing. And I think that it's interesting because I really am not a fan, but there's good things that have happened. I think people are more civic-minded. I think people know more about politics now. I think people are speaking up of the, the injustices of not afraid. And I think it's on everyone's mind. So, 2015, we're really talking about life stuff.
Yeah.
Gets to, him not winning the election but becoming president.
Thank you.
And it's like, seriously, it's when I say what pisses you off the most, he's in it a lot of the time because, to wake up, I don't feel safe. Do you feel safe?
Every day. No, it's so constant.
Like, he's out of his fucking, and it's not even, you're a Republican, you're a Libertarian, you're a Democrat, he's mentally ill, he's unfit for this job, he's not curious, he doesn't read. It's like, it's about him as a person. Is that who you want leading the country and representing us around the world?
No.
It's horrible.
You want Glenn Close.
It's really horrible.
Yeah, we can get Glenn. I can get Glenn Close.
And you've had a lot of different celebrity guests.
Yeah.
So what is that like booking? Are they friends? How do you meet these people and bring them up?
I do a lot of friends, and I also, people, are starting to call me and say, listen, oh no, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it's usually, I started with just comics, and then it's really people who I find fascinating. Like I had Roberta Kaplan on. She was the attorney for the Defense of Marriage Act case. She went before the Supreme Court and overturned the Defense of Marriage Act, case. And, I know her, and it was just fascinating to hear her story and how she changed the world. Dick Cavett, I had Dick Cavett on talking about his depression. Yeah. And, we really get into intense topics that, Artie Lang came on, and we were having this really intense conversation, and a couple of people from the Stern Show wrote to me and said, I've known him forever. I never knew this stuff about him.
Wow.
But comics talk to each other differently than we talk to, you know that.
Civilians.
It's true. We go over the edge because we know other people will be like, oh my God, you're a horrible person for even thinking that. But yeah.
And can you tell us more about your background and what got you started in comedy?
So I was in college. It was 1982. So I was at Rutgers, and someone actually dared me to do stand-up during our Secret Santas. I lived in the dorm, and we would send each other notes and say, for Secret Santa, you have to go, I remember one person had to go sing Let It Rain, which you don't know the song because you're 12, but Let It Rain, and then everyone had to throw buckets of water on her every time the chorus came on. You know, so my Secret Santa says to me, you're gonna do stand-up, and you're gonna use everyone who lives on the floor as, you know, fodder for your material. And I was like, I took it so seriously, and I swear to God, after I got my first laugh, it was like I had an out-of-body experience. You know that. You get it's like, you're like, oh my God, this is the most, I got a high that I had never gotten from any drugs or anything, you know? And it's an amazing feeling to make an audience laugh, you know? And I just started going, like, look, this was the 80s and it was the comedy boom. You could get so much stage time. There were so many clubs. I used to go down to Wall Street and do like a happy hour. You know those street fairs they used to have a stage set up and you could go, I mean, the key to being a great comic, stage time and honesty.
And you also have your comedy album also titled Kill Me Now.
I know, and my publicist yelled at me, you can't have the name of the podcast and the comedy album the same thing. So,
I like it, consistency.
This is, that's the album, Kill Me Now. I recorded it last year. It just came out in December, and this is, have you seen these?
No.
Like, instead of making CDs or albums, they make these drop cards, and then you like sign them, you're like, hey, and then you get your own code.
Right.
That's so cool.
So it's like buying a CD, but you get your own code. And this is like my 70s.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what I mean?
Love it.
Like we were doing headshots, and he's like, let me pull your hair out, and I just love it. Yeah.
You've also starred in like quite a few off-Broadway shows, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think about ever going back to doing off-Broadway theater?
Well, I did 2 one-person shows.
Right.
I saw one.
You did?
The one that was on 14th Street, just up
Oh,
there.
the Judy show, My Life as a
I went
Sitcom?
to that one. It was really
thank
fun.
you.
It was great.
So that was about my addiction to sitcoms growing up and how I thought I'd end up being on one. So, and then I did one before that, 25 Questions for a Jewish Mother, where my writing partner, Kate Moira Ryan, not Jewish, but we traveled all around the country interviewing Jewish mothers to find out if the stereotype was real. And they actually ended up pretty much changing my life, their stories. Wow. So I did those 2. And then, like, I've been cast.
Right.
Clinton the Musical, Disaster the Musical. I did the Vagina Mogs. I did Love, Loss, and What I Wore. Can I just do a Broadway show, please?
Yeah.
Oh, we would love to.
Which one? Speak it into existence.
I know. Yes, I want to do a Broadway show.
Your version of Hamilton, whatever that is.
Yeah, but I can't dance.
We don't need to dance. You just stand.
Yeah, I want to do like a play. Shut up. I want to do like a really good. This is my goal. Should I put it out there?
Yeah, put it out there.
Okay, I want you to speak.
This is since I've started doing. Like, I never will stop doing stand-up. Like, but I've always wanted to be on a really socially relevant TV show, comedy, dramedy, whatever, where, you know, those characters stay with you forever, you know, just like Rhoda Morgenstern.
Yeah.
I love Rhoda.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, that's all I've ever wanted was to be that sort of, you know, plus the money's good, but I just to be a character on a show where, you know, like, look, Penny Marshall just died.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget Laverne.
Totally.
And how outspoken, and she wasn't the most attractive, but, you know, when you're a kid and you're watching TV, you're like, wow, I'm represented.
Right.
You know?
We do make dreams come true on Bill Brunch.
You
so
do?
We'll call you when we get your show in the works. But can you tease us any more
I hate you.
episodes?
I hate you.
We have
Give me
a lot.
a buzz when we get that show.
We have a
going.
lot of you from the Philippines watch our show, so maybe we can do a show in the Philippines.
Hi, Philippines.
Yeah, you may become a huge star there.
Thank you.
We're big celebrities. Can you tease us any future episodes of Kill Me Now for the podcast?
Well, I do them. Mike Daisy, I don't know if you know him. He does one-person shows. He's on this week.
That's when I listened to.
And then I have part 2 of that coming. Do you know Frank DeCaro? Oh my God, you guys. He was the film critic on The Daily Show.
Yeah.
And then he had a Sirius
Yes.
XM radio show. He's on the next 2 weeks. I don't know if I'm allowed. I'm doing a live podcast in February with Sandra Bernhardt. So that's going to be
Can people come to that taping?
Yes!
Okay.
You're coming.
Let us know.
That's awesome.
And I have a lot of people, but the whole back blog of them. There's so many great people that I got to really get into these intense conversations with, and it was so much fun.
That's so awesome. We love talking to you. We love listening to your stuff.
Allie, you're the best.
Judy, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh my God, thank you guys. I love you guys.
Everyone, make sure to listen to Judy's podcast and new comedy album, Kill Me Now. That's all from us. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same table. That was great.